How the hell did I get dirt racing? Drink coffee. Okay, so here's how it goes. I'm in the middle of my NASCAR Cup career, and I'm flying on Kenny and Ann's plane. And, you know, I admire Kenny Schrader with my life. He is my other brother. And I said, Kenny, teach me how to race dirt. Every single week on Schrader's plane. And finally one day, Kenny Schrader looked at me on that plane, and Kenny says, he shakes his head, he says, you're right in the middle of your NASCAR Cup career. Why do you want to learn how to race dirt? Well, in the back of my mind, my dad was a good dirt racer. My brother Mike, Rusty went immediately to asphalt, but Rusty won the coin against A.J. Foyt, USAC stock car. So Rusty's just flat good. So weeks go by, and I'm thinking, how do I respond to Kenny Schrader? Why I want to run dirt? And it dawned on me. I grew up with A.J. Foyt and Marion Andretti. I was born in '63, so I told Kenny Schrader, I said, Kenny, here's why I want to run dirt. Because right now I'm a one-dimensional guy. I'm an asphalt guy. I said, I want to learn to run dirt because A.J. Foyt would be on the pole at Indiana Fairgrounds. And then he'd be on the pole for the Indianapolis 500. I just couldn't get over that. So Kenny starts getting me some time in some modifieds, dirt work modifieds out of Iowa. Well, we're down, what's that track? Poplar Bluff? No? Yeah, maybe so. So Kenny says you need to go to this thing called the Prelude to the Dream. I'm like, what the hell is that? Prelude to the Dream. I'm in the toter home, and we drive all night long from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, all the way to C.J. Rayburn's. And I sleep all night long, and I get up, I look out, and there's Steve working on Billy Mortar's super late model, like 8 in the morning. And I still don't comprehend what's going on. But I'm doing what Kenny said. We're going to the Prelude to the Dream. I get there, we get to Eldora, my first time ever. I don't even know where this place is. I don't even know what it's about. I'm all asphalt. Now, I'm embarrassed to say it, but that was 2005. I go into Eldora, and I'm like, this looks like Winchester and Salem, because that's where I grew up running, Winchester and Salem. And I'm telling you what, there's 18,000 people there, at least. And I go up to my car, and there must have been 20 hind joints. I'm driving Patrick Sheltra, and this car's got the Riper spring laying down. It's not up. This thing's crazy looking. Fast forward, I go out, and I win it all. And I've never drove a dirt car. I did the Dirtworks car. So I get to Victory Lane, and Tony Stewart looks at me in Victory Lane, and he goes, what was that all about? even Kenny, and Kenny's over in the motor. Even Kenny and Joey and all my people from Missouri, they're looking at me like, I'm as shocked as you are. I said, how do I answer Tony Stewart? He goes, what was that all about? Because, I mean, I outran some good guys. And I looked at Tony Stewart and I said, well, maybe I'm a dirt racer. So C.J. Rayburn, C.J. calls me up. He goes, I want to give you a car to use. I'm like, oh, crap. So C.J. gives me a brand new dirt super late model to use. Well, I don't know what to do with this thing, so I call Schrader immediately. So he gets Petrov. Petrov puts a motor in it free, and I get some money from Jags. And it's that simple. That's how I started racing. And I won a big dirt super late model race in Cleveland, Tennessee. And I looked around and I said, well, this is stupid. These things are too expensive. And I started out a dirt super late model racer. And it was that night after I won that race, I looked at Joey, I said, let's give this car back to Rayburn. Because LeBob, raise your hand, Jeff. Jeff and all my friends in St. Louis, they run these things called mortifieds. We make fun of them, right? They spin out every lap or so. But when you get a good A main, they're the best. So I decided to quit dirt super late model racing, give Rayburn the car back, and relieved Kenny of his duties. I paid him well. And works the checkbook. And I went back home, and my childhood friend, his name's Donnie Jumper. He builds these race cars called Impressive. And we were down at Farmington one night, and I said, you know, right in the middle of my NASCAR Cup career, I said, you know, I'd like to run these cars. Give me something to do. So Donnie calls me up, and he said, let's do it. So Donnie fields my Stacker 2 St. Louis Cardinal dirt car, and all it was just a crazy, crazy deal. And now, here I am all these years later. I've run more dirt tracks just about anybody except Schrader. I have raced so many dirt tracks that it has been the time of my life. And so, now we're talking about Rusty. Why do you run that old dirt car? Rusty thinks we're a bunch of rednecks. I'm like, well, we are. You know?